This fight is for the freedom, justice, equality of the black man in America, so that I may take my title and my fame and go out and uplift little black people in the ghettos. Yes, black sir. People is catching hell. Black people who entertainers won't speak for. That's all right. Those entertainers coming here, don't none of them really get on no television and give up every quarter to say something that's against white people, right. The government. All those entertainers, not getting on them, but I'm saying I have to lead the way. I have to be. Now, God has made me bigger than all entertainers in America. God has made me bigger than all entertainers in the world. God has made me bigger than all athletes in the world. Now it's my job to whoop this man, get my title, so I can use it to help uplift the black man in America. That's why I go in the ring, with this intention.
Hey, where you from, dude?
I'm from right here. Right here. I walked these streets all my life. I've got my ass whooped plenty of times by them. I've been plenty of times, no fucking reason at all. That's why I don't need fun all with them. They shot my brother. They shot my brother and gave him 25 years. That's the shit we get with here. They shoot people every day and they only people that die. They beat people in. They oppressing people. This ain't only about the people that died. This shit's about our fucking city. This is our fucking land. This is our shit. This is our shit. How we let them control our shit. Why the fuck am I being police myself doing in the suburbs and I live in the middle of the fucking hood? I can police my fucking self.
Yeah, what's the mainstream media saying? Are they putting them,
What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Savage Talk. I do got to start off apologizing. I know we were supposed to be starting 10 o'clock every morning, but as y'all see, I'm in the in the sling. Yeah, my injury been getting a little best of me, but you know, we right back in action. So yeah, I'll know in a couple days whether I got to get surgery or whatever. But, you know, your boy's still grinding, you know what I'm saying? When I can't physically grind, I'm mentally grind. You know, we still going to get this money. We still going to get these stocks. We still going to reach out to the folks, you know? Oh, man. There's a lot been going on in the news. Today we talking about Colin Powell, former Secretary of State. He passed away today. He actually passed away today from complications of the the virus. You know, we ain't even gonna say it. The COCO, you know, we don't want to get banned, you know, or anything. They've been doing full blown censorship for anybody to say anything about the COCO. But if you don't know about who Colin Powell is, you ain't been paying attention to the news in the last 40, 50 years. You know, I know some of us ain't that old, but I know recent years, he hasn't been in the news because it's been a different people in office and everything. But, you know, Colin Powell, he's an American politician, Democrat, statesman. I said diplomat, sorry about that. Diplomat, statesman, and a 4-star general who served as the 65th United States Secretary of State from 2001 to 2005. And he was also the first African-American Secretary of State. He served the government from 1958 to 2003 in different forms. You know, he was from being a soldier. He actually was in the Vietnam War. And I recall like an interview. I was trying to pull it up earlier. I caught like some bits of it, but it was an interview of him recalling a story in Vietnam where he says like this is the first time he seen like his people he knew died and all that, you know, like his homeboys and all that. They went over there and he said he felt shots coming at him. It was like the first sensation he had like that Like he said, it was a significant snap on him, like, you know, and he was just like the adrenaline was rushing, and you know, bombs, all this stuff going out, you know, and you know, long story short, a bunch of soldiers died, you know, and they had to. He basically, like, he had to rescue some guys, and you know, he was a military hero, which is basically, you know, how he got his position. He served as the 16th United States National Security Advisor from 1987 to 1989, and as the 12th chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff from 1989 to 1993. Yeah, dude had a long resume. We gonna shoot through the resume kind of short because we gonna get to the meat. Y'all know we getting to the meat. And be sure to comment, man, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. You know, tune in. Let me know what you think about what we're discussing, because you know we're gonna go deeper than just talking about his resume. Like I ain't saying it on no sinister stuff, but you know we dig deep. You know, everything we do is, you know, is from a black perspective, you know, and also from the perspective of, you know, I'm one of y'all, you know. So let's talk about it. Colin Powell, man, what's up with his legacy, man? Let's see what wars he was in. You know, he was in the, like we said, he was in the Vietnam War, which was the longest war that the United States fought, you know, until like the War of Afghanistan, which is basically, I mean, the war on terror or whatever. And this is the one that everybody says the United States lost. They say basically the United States kind of got whooped on. They tried to go into this big old jungle and fight these people, and kind of got their asses kicked. And it was a brutal war. It was very brutal. And they basically lost and had to retreat out of Vietnam. It was an unfinished war, and through the politics, you know, they came back to America and basically celebrated. And you know, Vietnam, they celebrated, and a lot of soldiers, like, and stuff, didn't even leave for like years after the war. It was like Vietnam was a crazy war, and a lot of people consider that as the one, like as the only one the United States lost. And Colin Powell, he fought in that war, and that's where he had like the brutality story. He said he actually said that he repressed that memory because he didn't want to think about that memory, like seeing all them people dead, and you know, having to pull the dead soldiers until they got to the helicopter and all that. Basically the stuff we see in the movies, like dude really was doing that, you know what I'm saying? Like Colin Powell. Also, you know, he was a part of served in Desert Storm. You know, all about that. He was general. Desert Storm was another brutal one. And Desert Storm, whoo, that's actually where we get into the meat with Colin Powell, because a lot of people say, you know, Colin Powell basically like lied to the public to get us to go into Iraq, you know, to start the Iraq war. And I mean, that's very deep, like, you know, because everybody knows as time went on, we kind of seen that war was more about them owning property and the oil and everything. And that's no knock on the soldiers. Like, before we even go any further, it's no knock on the soldiers, because like a lot of people fighting for different reasons, you know. And I got a lot of family members who soldiers, and I salute them for, like, you know, trying to feed their families, because like honestly, most of the soldiers I know, they went in to feed their families, you know. And we all know the military will kind of use that to their advantage in the hood, you know. they know like people wouldn't have a lot of money and people basically in poverty, and they was preaching this GI Bill, all this other stuff like, hey, come in here, get paid. Your life would be completely different. And a lot of us, it was like, okay, I see gunfire every day. I hear gunshots every day. So how different could it be in the military? So that's what a lot of people in the hood got on in the military. A lot of guys who are doing well now that I know, they're doing well. Not just guys and women. A lot of people I know are doing very well that served in the military because they got that boost with the GI Bills and all, like all the extensions of money they give you, especially if you score high on their tests and all that. But yeah, that was a weird time in America because as a part of Colin Powell's legacy, they basically lied, about, we all know the after 9/11. This is that's after Desert Storm, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's after it, but it's like the same war, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a same war between the same regions. That's why I kind of, you might be like, oh no, he blending them, but they are kind of, it's an extension of the same war. It's been like 20 years, you know what I'm saying, of the US invading the Middle East. And I'm just gonna keep it 100. I'm not gonna hold my words. Like the US invaded the Middle East, and they basically would come here and lie to the American people to go over there to get Americans people's support. That's one of the reasons I don't. That's like the foundations of me not supporting a lot of government stuff. While people think I be going like crazy on certain people, but it's yeah. Hey, how you doing, Robin? How you doing? They say he had many other health complications that's put his immune system at risk. Yeah, and we all know with the COCO, that's basically who is mostly fatal to our elderly and to people with messed up immune system, because he had cancer, and as we know, cancer treatment and like cancer itself, it tears up your immune system. So there was definitely some factors. Plus, he was 84 years old. Like, so, it definitely, he was definitely a prime candidate for, the virus to be deadly to him, which is messed up. But yeah, back to like this war stuff, man. Cause y'all know I'm so anti-war. I can't stand this war crap. And like I'm not even like trying to like trash anybody's like legacy or step on like black folks. We don't like to talk bad on dead folks, but me, we're gonna tell it, we're gonna talk the truth though. Since his name is in the headlines and it goes on with everything that we're going through right now. I mean, and I'm trying to connect that with y'all. I'm actually working on some literature right now that'll help connect some of these dots for some people, because I know a lot of us, we have short memories when it comes to things that happen nationally. We don't connect the dots to something that happened earlier, and that's a big mistake, because if you don't like pay attention to your history, you bound to repeat it. Let's go to this video of this was after 9/11. We all know 9/11, what happened on 9/11, where the towers got hit and the Pentagon got hit, and they some people say it was like another spot that got hit, but it's, we get this and that stories, and they say they shot another one down, and conspiracy theories and everything else. But we know a lot of people passed away. A lot of people perished during that time. And like I never would be one to question like something that like killed so many people. But I know our government, like, it's historically, it just seems like they don't care about people. Like it's like they use tragedies to pull something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I like with 9/11, I felt like they pulled it, they used it to get more money to continue their war in the Middle East. And the main tool they used in that was Colin Powell. The video kind of hard to get. You can find it on YouTube. But I mean, if you're in tune with politics or anything like that, you know the video where he explains how they have weapons of mass destruction over in the Middle East with Saddam Hussein, and he's explaining how, like, yeah, we need to go to war over there. And you know, him and Bush, they pushed it so strong, and it just like seemed like they got everybody on board. The only problem was they lied. They never found like these weapons that they were talking about, you know, and they basically say they lied to us flat face. I do have a little bit of a clip from it. Let's play that little clip. It's a little short one though. It's real short.
For Saddam Hussein, possession of the world's most deadly weapons is the ultimate trump card, the one he must hold to fulfill his ambition. We know that Saddam Hussein is determined to keep his weapons of mass destruction. He's determined to make more.
Yeah. With some of them statements like that, that pretty much, like, that may seem like nothing to some people. It might go over a lot of people's head, but it was them like few statements that led to a 20-year war. A 20-year war, the war on terror. 20-year war with over 900,000 deaths. Over $8 trillion spent. Just from them comments that they said there was weapons of mass destruction that they never found. They just went over there and I'm gonna tell you, I might get canceled for this, but like, you know, I don't down soldiers. I know soldiers are doing some real shit over there, going through some real shit to feed their families. You know what I'm saying? But I know some guys who were sending back videos of some sick shit, like of them over there torturing kids and shit, you know, and you know, the one stuff that was exposed about the military prison where they over there got them butt naked, piling them up, pissing on them, spitting on them, and raping them, doing all this old crazy stuff. This were like all led from like that, them saying that it was weapons of mass destruction, and it basically became a war on Islamic people, a war on Muslims, you know. And that war that went on for a long time. It's still a lot of it going on, like locally. Like locally, people were like, everybody know that it was the little jokes about the Muslim guys with the rag talking about they got bombs on them and all this crap, you know. Like y'all don't act like everybody don't know what I'm talking about. But you know, and people were even messing with people about it, and some people were like mistaking like Indian, like Hindu folks for Arabic people, and like they were beating people up and like all types of hate crimes, all from like them saying that this guy had these weapons of mass destruction, and they were saying that he was torturing his people, which, I mean, there was evidence of him he's torturing his people, but it's like coming from the stance of the United States. Who the hell is we to be pointing at somebody like, oh, y'all torturing somebody? Shit, United States is the capital of torturing their own people. Like there's no other country that locks up their own citizens as much as the United States. And it's all like connected with this war on terror, this war on crime. It's all against people of color. I hate to say that Colin Powell was a big part of that, man. And to me, I think, as a black man, I believe he was being used, because if you read some of his writings, he said, like, he's one of the guys. There's actually a rule called the Colin Powell rule now that that says that they have to have a reason to go to war. This is kind of afterwards, but he was part of it, but how they use black people. They use us as the face, whenever it's something bad, like to kind of put some little softness on it, some entertainment on it. Like they use us for that. I think he realized that later in his life, and he was kind of biting back, at the powers that be. But whew, it's just like I say with Biden, like Biden, Colin Powell, Kamala Harris, like even the CDC guy, Anthony Fauci. These were some of the worst people in the world, like during the freaking 70s, 80s, 90s. You know what I'm saying? These were some of the worst people in the world, and we have a short ass memory. Like, it seems like we know about the conditions. Like, we know about the conditions that we had in the 70s, 80s, and the 90s. Like, yeah, we had to fight against the powers that be. Those were the powers that be. And then it's like we forget about it. And then we like, oh, yeah, we were biting now. But that dude was the... Like how Colin Powell was... They were attacking the colored people. Like they were attacking the brown and black people around the world internationally. Biden was attacking the people of color locally. And these people were some messed up people, man. But like I say, like I believe like people like Biden and them are a little bit more guilty than like a Colin Powell, because I believe Colin Powell was just a soldier that they used. You know what I'm saying? Like he was a good soldier. He was the best. Like because you know how black excellence, man. You know what I'm saying? And we never down black excellence, and that's what he was. He was black excellence. But like they used that black excellence against us. I believe they convinced him that it was over there. I believe they used him as a face. Who knows? They probably did. He probably was the main person on that. I mean, he was the general. He was the main general, and so it's hard to judge that. Y'all judge that. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know what y'all think. What up? What up? Let's go to road. Yeah, man. I heard that song you sent me too. I wasn't able to respond. I was listening to it in the car. Like but yeah, it's going. I'm gonna send you some instrumentals too, man. And you just record the vocals and send them to me through email, and we're gonna rock out, man. We're gonna talk about that after this. You better believe it. But yeah, man. Yeah, Powell came under fire for his role in building the case for the 2003 invasion of Iraq. In a press statement on February 24th, 2001, he has said that sanctions against Iraq had prevented the development of any weapons of mass destruction by Saddam Hussein, as was the case in the days leading up to the Persian Gulf War. Powell was initially opposed to a forcible overthrow of Saddam. Like I say, he was at first he like, no, like we don't need to do that. But the powers that be, once the politicians get involved, you know what I'm saying? And say Powell preferred to continue a policy of containment, which is still kind of messed up. Containment is basically what they do to the black community, how they block the businesses and, criminalize us, redline our neighborhoods and all that. They do the same thing internationally. And that's basically what Powell wanted to do. He wanted to make sure that Iraq couldn't do any business with anybody, that they couldn't make money anywhere. So basically the people was going to starve, die out, you know what I'm saying? Civil war, all that, which basically was what was going on. And that's what the U.S. has been doing in the Middle East for, man, since the U.S. been here. However, Powell eventually agreed to go along with the Bush administration's determination to remove Saddam. And that's where it gets to, man, these politics is crazy, bro. Like he had a split legacy for real. Like, dude accomplished a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying, as far as a black man getting into levels, getting into like the highest level of government, like Secretary of State, that's the highest level of government. Like, that's with the president. That's right with the president. You know, they're right in succession of the president. If something happens to the president, vice president, you know, they're right in that succession. He made it there as a black man. This before Barack, you know. And he even switched sides because, you know, Colin Powell, he was a Republican, but, you know, he kind of temporarily renounced his party to vote for Barack Obama. And, you know, it was like, to me, you know, you part of that was the black thing to do. You know. But, you know, yeah, like he gonna have a split legacy because I gotta say, like, our military powers that be that's led by the politicians. That's why I say I don't blame it on the soldiers, but some of them soldiers is nuts. Like, I'm telling you, I know some personally that they sent back pictures of these dudes torturing kids and crazy shit, like laughing and having fun with that shit. And you got others that like expose that shit, and you got others like fighting for freedom that really believe they fighting for freedom. And you got others that, you know, doing what they got to do. It's not no uniform thing. Like every soldier just ain't over there valiant fighting for freedom. Like, shit, I think it's some motherfuckers that just want some damn guns and they want to shoot some shit up. But, you know, like, it's a mixed breed. But the powers that be, it is what it is. They out here to dominate black and brown countries and communities, whether it's outside of the country or it's locally inside, and it's the same strategies. That's why even the smallest police stations that you can find sometimes will have a SWAT team on them, you know, for places that don't have no crime, and they sometimes got to get used by the big city to police their community. It's just insane, man. Like, I'm sorry, I just never been a supporter of the military. I'm a supporter of the soldiers. Some of the soldiers itself. My grandfather was so, like, I come from a line of soldiers, so it's like never no disrespecting the soldiers themselves, but you can never wipe away the fact that we've been over there fighting for like money, property, oppressing people. You know what I'm saying? And the government, they've been lying to the soldiers just like they've been lying to us. It's no difference. It's propaganda. If you research propaganda, it comes from, you know, Nazi Germany, and they were like the masters at it. You know, it comes from like the Berlin Conference. This is way back. If you don't know about the Berlin Conference, we got to talk. But basically, the Berlin Conference, it was a conference that all these European countries held, and they decided that they were going to take over Africa and divide Africa into these different European nations. So they basically did that, you know, Berlin, held in Berlin, where Nazi Germany, where the Nazi Germany happened. But, you know, this was all the setup, you know, King Leopold, all these. Research some of these names, man. But this all led up until eventually Nazi Germany getting in power, and, you know, Hitler. This is what eventually led to Hitler in power. Like Hitler and all of them, they were allies of the United States. You know, you can look at all these pictures up with the presidents hugged up with Hitler and all this, and basically, like, Hitler was like, no, I want to be bigger than everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I want to represent this master race thing. You know, if you ain't part of like this master race, which he wasn't even part of, you basically had to get cut off. And like a lot of Americans had mixed breeds, a lot of Poles and Germans. Like it was like a mixed breed over here in America, like in the U.S. So they didn't get along with that, and a lot of other countries that had mixed backgrounds, and because a lot of these people were actually like descendants of like closer descendants of Africans, and Hitler and them knew that. That's why they were attacking like the French and Italians and all that. Because if you go back to French and Italian, you go back dig into their history a little bit. They granddaddies was African. But, that's why Hitler didn't like certain white people, you know, so-called white people. And that's why he didn't like the Jews, you know, because the Hebrews were definitely the Egyptians, you know. The Hebrews came from the Egyptians. It's documented in the Bible and through history, you know. I don't really even be using the Bible as like a pinpoint, but it's in there, you know what I'm saying, along with history that, you know, the Egyptians, certain Egyptians broke off and went north and created their own, you know, communities, and it created war to where they always hated Egypt. They always hated Africans, you know what I'm saying? They always hated that nation, and they blended with the people of the north, which were the Germanic people, you know, which were the Europeans, the Greeks. I mean, the later Greeks, not the Greeks, the Romans, because the Greeks were, you know, we can dig deeper in that later, you know what I'm saying? but you know, this led into these lighter Hebrew people, you know. That's why you get these white Jewish guys with these froze and stuff. That's because they great granddaddy was an Egyptian, you know. But that's why you also get a little bit of a fight sometimes between like the Caucasian Jews and the Hebrew Israelite type Jew, like the guys that still represent their heritage, that are dark as you can get, you know, black as you can get, you know. So it's a lot that goes with that, man. It's just a long history that kind of digs into where we're at right now, into all these wars and them trying to control over there, trying to control our people, them putting a foot on the necks of brown and black people everywhere. It all extends from that, man. And I hate to say our brother was part of that system. That's why I say the politics ain't gonna save us. They won't even let like regular Joes get into politics. They'll probably let you become like a little councilman, someone in your city. But as far as anybody who ever made it to the level of presidency or something like that, they had to do something bad to some black or brown people. Like it just is what it is. Like they pretty much had to sell out or tear up some black and brown people. It's facts. Like look up every last one of the presidents that we had. Check their records, and don't check it with like a political mind, like you a Republican or a Democrat. Just research it like it's a person, like, you know, and you can check the facts. Like the people in power now are some messed up people. They the most messed up people we probably had in power in a long time. And like, even though the last guy in power, he was probably like more outwardly messed up, and he was a bit of a buffoon, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the guy now, he's not a buffoon. The guy now in there is very smart, and he's intentionally attacking certain people. He's intentionally putting certain people in power to depower certain people. And pay attention. If you don't pay attention, you're gonna be the fool that empowers that crap. That's why we here, man. We want to tell the truth. Speak with me, man. Like, make sure y'all talking with each other, man. Talk to me. Like I say, I ain't trying to shit on Colin Powell's legacy, but you know, I'm not a big government supporter. So, you know, we just had to go over a little history lesson. His history is not good for our people. Like his you know, his accomplishment, you know, is added to our people, but the things he did with them accomplishments, it's pretty messed up. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, that the war that he publicly kind of created, like I ain't gonna say he created it, you know, behind the scenes. He's not the one that created it, but publicly, his statement is what created that war. This 20-year war, this $8 trillion war, $900,000 deaths. These are facts. statistics. That's probably all I gotta say, man. Like we probably I ain't gonna hold y'all ear too much, but like we had to discuss this, man. Like I love talking about this, man. And we back in action. Like I say, I'm a little injured. I'm a little injured. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see my arm all tied up. I'm a little messed up, but you know, we right back at it, man. We gotta say something. We gotta be our own media. We have to create our own media. The media is, I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of people be thinking a lot of this stuff is conspiracy theories, but it's not. The thing is, we just got short memories. And with short memories, there's always a way to cure that. Research. Like when media was being created, like I said, they got it from Nazi Germany. Nazi Germany used this propaganda to spread their message. And basically Hitler took over the world. But America wanted to take over the world too. So it was a little bit of a battle, like not just America, like America and Britain, you know, the UN basically. You know, they like, no, bro, like we want to control this as the UN, there's 13 nations, you know, but Hitler wasn't on it, so they fought and fought and fought. And there's many stories about that, but America eventually won, and after America won, they basically stole all the Nazis' technology. They took all their philosophies, took all their symbols, and brought it over here and just kind of reused it. You know, all of our symbols are the same. The eagle, like all of that, like you know how the eagle was the symbol of our country. It was the symbol of Nazi Germany. It's like the same eagle, but the reason it's the same eagle because it goes back to, you know, Egypt. It goes back to Egypt. You know, the Nubian imagery. You know, the eagle with the wheat grass in its leg. It's all our ancestors' imagery, and they put it out on display, kind of like to laugh at you for real. Even if like you remember, like you know how like in the UK they wear those wigs, those big white wigs. Those are supposed to resemble like the cloths that are on the heads of the pharaohs and the Egyptian people. Like that's what they were mimicking. They also, you know, you'll see them with the fez hats on and all that. They're mimicking the Moors and all this stuff. Like, yes, this is history. This is real history. I ain't just talking, man. Like sometimes it'd be hard not to talk with all that in your head, like when you know it. But if you know it, you know it. And if you know it, you got to spread it. They've been taking our history and using us against ourselves. We have to create our own media. I'll be showing more and more about different media outlets that you can go to where people just keeping it real. People are just analyzing the information in front of them and just instead of trying to manipulate you. I would never want to manipulate you, but I want to put the information out there so that you can research it. So research and become a better person, become a more aware person. It's a double-edged sword. Sometimes it's a burden on your head, knowing how fucked up these people are, because it's scary. But I believe it's scarier not to know, you know, to be walking in a landmine and not know. So protect yourselves, research, because we want to make sure, we always want to make sure we leaving with something positive. Get your life together, man. Learn how to grow some veggies, some fruits, invest in some of these stocks, invest in some of these small businesses around here. Shit, promote a business, man. Share somebody's business, share somebody's venture on your page. That's free. Do something to get our people going, man. We can't keep doing like we doing. We'll be stuck like this forever. So let's grow. And with that, I gotta say, what up, man. Enjoy the rest of y'all night. I know I enjoy y'all for sticking with me on the late night crate. And love y'all, man. Let's keep this going. Stay tuned. Subscribe to whatever you're looking on, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on the RSS feed, whether you listening on Spotify. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow. Make sure you stand in tune because we got a lot more coming for you. I got a lot of guests on the way. You know, we had to work. We went working out some kinks before we bring all them guests on. So be patient. Love y'all. We out. I'm about to go kiss and hug on my wife.